always suspected it would be a very tough and difficult evening, and it proved to be that way. I just said to the guys in there, if you want to beat the best teams and you want to be in a position to fight for silverware or at the top of any table, then you've got to be able to create against a good, stout and a very well organised team. Somehow you've got to find a way for your most creative players to get in the game, and I felt we did that in the first period especially. And then you've also got to have the fortitude to prevent their more creative players, and they have plenty of them, from having an effect on the game, and I felt we did that in the second period when they started to get a little bit more of a stranglehold of the game. The two differing shapes in the way we both played was always going to be a bit of a game of cat and mouse. I felt in the first half we edged it and our shape dictated, and I felt they dictated to us in the second half a little bit more, whether that was because there was something to hold on to, maybe one or two of the players had put an awful lot into that first period and just lost a little bit of edge, but either way I felt we showed all of the qualities necessary to not just win it, but to win it in a reasonably emphatic way.
What did you see on Daniel's 1-2 with Michael Reed, where he ended up scoring the goal?
Well, the first period as a whole, I felt offered some very good moments. There were some good interaction between Lebo and Alan, really the front four. There was a nice edge to it, there was a change of pace, there was some disguise, and I honestly thought that we did a very good job of pinning their wing backs a bit deeper and allowing Lebo to get into some more dangerous areas to link up. But for both teams, when the ball was turned over and they could counter, we were no different. When we could counter with a little bit more pace and positivity, there were more gaps that were shown, and it was difficult for them to recover. And the goal came out of that. The one thing I would say about the goal is that it would have been easy for Michael to have had a touch when the ball went wide. The fact that he actually played it in first time, didn't allow the defenders to recover, fine lines. It's an excellent choice, brilliant execution, and a nice way to go in front and put ourselves in a good position.
What did you make of Forrest's performance and his pairing with Jimmy?
I thought both of them were immense in that middle part of the field. There's many different ways of obviously having players in there and types of players that you can have. I think we've got some terrific defenders here, full stop. But these two guys, I believe, bring more out of others. They have a presence. They're ready to carry others on their shoulder when things are difficult, and it gives confidence to players in front of them. And it's a quality that you can't measure. It's at a professional level, you want more of those types of players than less. There are plenty of players that can show what they're about, but they need others around them to lift them. These guys lift the group, and they did that tonight.
Over 13,000 fans in attendance tonight, fifth highest attendance in the league. Just give us your general thoughts on just the support that you guys received today here in Nissan.
Fabulous. I mean, it's a wonderful stadium. To see the fans come out the way they have and support the group, I actually thought the atmosphere was terrific. I think I said at the very outset of the group coming together some 18 months ago, this is a reciprocal relationship. We have to perform, and then I think the fans are in good enough voice to get behind us and give us that extra bit of momentum. There's a wonderful relationship between the group and the fans, and I think you've seen that again tonight.
We got Ken back for the first time in almost 2 months, playing a little bit different position than we're used to seeing too. What did you see out of his performance tonight in his first game back?
Ken's a top professional. He's played in midfield before, and it's really not. I say it's not a midfield role. It is, and it isn't. They'd changed their shape slightly. I just felt lost a little bit of edge in our play, and I'd asked him really to be a front screen, and if he needed to drop into the back line and make up a three, they were throwing caution to the wind a little bit. Last thing we needed was, just extra numbers being the problem for us. And he's an intelligent guy. He might be strong, he might be aggressive, but he's got some quality about his play, and he's intelligent. He picks up good areas, and again, I think he lifts others when he's on the field. He's got that persona about him. He's very vocal. He guides players well, and I know for sure if I was out there in front of him in that midfield and he comes onto the field, I'd be inspired by it, and that really was part of the move.
What does a win against a team like Indy, who's towards the top of the table and pushing for silver, what does a win do for the rest of your season?
I mean, a win's important, full stop. Against your close competitors, it becomes even more important. You throw into the equation that top two teams have played a couple more games than us now, and that gap is certainly one we've got to eat up. This is a very, very important statement, not just 3 points. The style of the victory, to win here at Nissan as well. I was told on the way in and reminded that's 3 clean sheets we've had here. Long may that continue, by the way. 2 clean sheets on the spin in the league. And it's the first time we've scored goals here as well. I have to say, the field itself was immaculate. With the support we've already spoken about, the guys raised their game today. And there's always that concern, you're never quite sure emotionally how people will deal with a big occasion. And it is a big occasion coming in. It's very different to the normal home games we play. And there's an attachment to MLS. As much as you might want to say, well, it's a USL game, we're playing here next year. Those guys that are on the field, no doubt in the back of their minds saw this as a bit of a dress rehearsal, and that can affect people in different ways. You can focus and be strong and go and attack the game and get the most out of it, but you can end up being a bit of a shrinking violet, and the game passes you by. And I have to say, from the very outset, the players showed the mentality that was necessary to win the game. We were never going to outplay this team for 90 minutes. I felt there were some great portions of play, there was some wonderful creation, some terrific individual displays, and when we needed to, as I've said, we showed the type of unity, determination, and overall structure that's necessary to do well at the top of any division.
Martin was sent off at halftime. We didn't get basically any detail about it. Do you have any insight as to what happened there?
No idea. Just glad it's not me.
Any more questions? Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great